Dare you gamble your life for over 200,000 pounds of fish in a single net in the Bering hellscape? A $2 billion gamble is paid in blood. "180 seconds underwater, your heart will stop beating." For centuries, the West remained blind to this creature. But in the ancient Joseon dynasty, the Pollock was a sacred talisman used to banish evil spirits. A mystical symbol of power reigning silently beneath the dark, freezing waters of the Bering Sea. But history turned violently. In the 1960s, the Japanese transformed its soft flesh into soulless blocks of surimi. When cod stocks plunged by 70%, fast food empires instantly weaponized it. From a sacred offering, it became the multi-billion-dollar backbone of corporate capitalism. Do not call it a fish. Call it the greatest deceiver in culinary history. A blank canvas of the ocean, with flawless aerodynamics and the ability to endure freezing temperatures from 32 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Each female fires 1 million eggs into the abyss every single season, a brutal R selection strategy to dominate the frozen northern seas. But its true power lies in its identity as a colorless, flavorless matrix. Thanks to an elastic myofibrillar protein structure making up 18% of its body, the meat carries zero fishy odor. It is easily molded like clay by food engineers, washing away human sensory perception to impersonate crab claws or artificial lobster. This ocean energy transmitter has mutated into a mechanical cash machine, completely rewriting the mastication habits of the Western world. It deceives billions of people every single day, hiding inside luxury banquets, while no one suspects the dark truth behind the processed in China label heat. Beneath the surface lies biology. On the geopolitical chessboard, it is a weapon, a massive $2.3 billion market, ruthlessly manipulated by Russia's 10,000-ton industrial fleet. Have you ever bitten into a fish cake and wondered what you were truly chewing? You have been conned? Eyes that never close. In Korea, it is a guardian amulet against demons born from the ice. Imagine your body hung upside down, frozen at -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Then thawed repeatedly through 40 polar blizzards. Only when crushed by nature does this flesh refine into gold. The ocean knows no mercy. It devours itself. Swimming in colossal schools of 5,000 to 20,000, the Pollock is besieged by cod, seals, and killer whales. But the most merciless enemy under the abyss bears their exact same face, a cannibalistic loop of nature. When food supplies vanish, the mass of adults turn to tear apart their own offspring. This cannibalism self-regulates 20% of the population. At depths below 1,300 feet, where light dies, only one law survives, the law of the absolute strongest. Monopolization lies not the strength, but in its neutrality. No other species on Earth can replicate mammalian meat so flawlessly, driving down production costs by 25%. A blank canvas, reshaping global food tech. Welcome to the dead zone of the Bering Sea, where nature hunts to collect human souls. Arctic blizzards scream at 80 miles per hour. Temperatures crash to minus 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Freezing sea spray turns into sheets of ice, instantly crushing. 300-foot trawlers, the moment it strikes the hull. Here, mistakes are paid in blood. Human ghosts on massive trawlers amid 40-foot waves. Faces cracked by frost, severely sleep-deprived, laboring 18 hours a day. If you stood on this rolling iron deck, your knees would shatter before the shift even ended. Sail into hell not for the love of the ocean. They do it to outrun toxic credit card debts. To save their homes, they slip into the 0-degree water. Heart stops in 180 seconds. Do you dare gamble your life in this frozen void to pay your bills? Strap on quarter-inch neoprene armor to enter the combat zone. Lock and load. Armed with 10-pound sledgehammers, used to smash the killer ice suffocating the mechanical gear. Gates of hell open. The dragon's mouth dives into the abyss. Multi-beam sonar systems lock the targets, deploying a massive 330-foot net into 1,300 feet of total darkness. High-tech warfare begins, battling brutal undercurrents, twisting the steel hull. Steel cables carrying tens of thousands of tons strained, like guitar strings. A lethal mechanical dance on a stage of ice. Cables ready to snap with 1,000-ton force, severing any man who blinks. Life and death, separated by a single 12 link. But the ocean always slaps human arrogance right in the face. The net rolls over, failing. The million-dollar gear glides through the school like a harmless string. The first haul is a freezing slap to the bone, testing the breaking point of the crew. Tens of thousands of dollars of diesel fuel burned to ash, hauling up nothing but trash, rocks, and zero fish. Total psychological collapse. A 14-hour deadly shift completely wasted. When the ocean mocks you and debts crush your chest, do you break? Or do you spit blood and sail straight back into the storm? Back into the eye of the storm. The final gamble. The captain's eyes glued to the sonar. Radar flashing blood red. fishermen enduring sub-zero agony, a breathless standoff with the god of the sea. Bankruptcy is the only word left if this net comes up empty. The Coden bursts open. Jackpot. 150 tons of white gold explodes across the steel deck. Tears of rugged men stream down, frozen cheeks. Triumphant roars drown out the Arctic blizzard. The ocean has bowed to the iron will of man. But the death clock is ticking. The race against biochemical decay and mechanical purge begins. Vacuum pressure sucks the fish into the belly of the ship. AI vision scans and grades them in milliseconds. Laser automated knives fillet the flesh with fraction of an inch precision. The ocean surface tears open. Thick white foam erupts. A dense olive-brown mass emerges. The steel cages buckle under the... The heavy weight of premium hard-shell lobsters. They thrash aggressively. Heavy carapaces relentlessly clash against the cold iron bar. A $230,000 haul, saving a home from bank foreclosure, transforming the broken into heroes. You hold a $5 value meal in your hands, but do you know it was paid for in blood and ultimate survival? Turn the bow. Fleeing the scythe of the Grim Reaper, Golden Dawn breaks after the storm. Docking at Dutch Harbor, Alaska, the hull battered and scarred, groaning under tons of polar ice. A violent juxtaposition between broken steel and total psychological liberation. The ship slides into port, meeting the tearful, relieved eyes of families waiting on the foggy pier. Tight hugs melt the Arctic frost. Stepping ashore is stepping into freedom. They have conquered the ocean and defeated their own destitution. Locking freshness in an iron cage. Refrigerated container trucks pierce the wind, racing toward advanced plants in Qingdao. The cold chain permits no decay to speak. A sanctuary of stainless steel and industrial blades. Ozone baths at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Laser-guided slicers decapitate. Hydraulic pressure vacuums the organs. Cold, sterile manufacturing erases the last trace of the wild at. The ice coffin. Thermal blanching locks the surimi matrix, compressing the fish paste into dense blocks under mechanical force. Vacuum sealed to perfection for global fast food empires. Stamped, frozen, finished, a glorious end to a life born 6,500 feet below the abyss. The willful blindness of an obese economy. A cheap meal chewed in, haste through a drive-through window. Purchased with an agonizing death in the deep north. The global food supply chain always defaults the human cost of life against the Bering Sea to zero. The ocean is bleeding. Midwater trawling triggers ecosystem genocide, decimating salmon and cold water shrimp. Legalizing the stripping of the sea through beautiful corporate balance sheets, leaving a macroecological void that can never be reversed. The industrial machine grinds to a halt, making way for the underworld. Next episode, the madness of global syndicates and desperate divers risking lung implosions for the black gold, the sea cucumber. Supermarket receipts never charge you for the frostbitten, amputated fingers of fishermen. Are we feeding the world with cheap protein? Or are we devouring the planet's future with our own greed and apathy? You choose a side.